Good morning, Son upon 7 family. It's time for our first conversation. So we're going to get a scoop into everything that Nich has planned for the Music Week that's upcoming. So to give us all these details, we have Miss Kim Vasquez, who's no stranger to our couch. Good morning, Miss Kim.
Hi,
How are you doing?
Good morning.
You doing well?
Yes.
Yeah? How was the rain treating you?
I'm feeling bright despite the weather.
You're looking bright, too.
Yes, we like this color.
Yeah.
It's good. We're matching.
There's a thing about the
we got the
colors,
vibe,
too.
man. The vibe check.
Yes. There's also a workshop that's going to be happening, right?
We have some workshops happening, yes.
So Nilo is here today.
Nello.
Nello.
Yes.
Nello. Apologies for that.
No
Nello.
problem.
Nello Player, you're here today, and you're going to give us an insight into what the workshop is going to be
Yes.
about for our viewers that want to participate
Yes.
into it too. Right, so how are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good, man, as you said, despite the weather, but we're here. You know, the weather said stay in bed, but, you know, we have sun up, so we have to come still it.
Exactly. So thank you. Thank
And
you
then
so
he's
much.
channeling the earthy colors too as well, like in the match with the coach. We like it, man. The vibe.
We like
Appreciate it,
Giving.
accompanying the break.
Yes, man. I tell you, we have to match the energy, guys.
We all in sync.
Yeah.
And previously, before we got even started to this live conversation, I was really happy with what Miss Kim was telling us about, you know, what's going to take place. My mind thought it was more like concert kind of based or so, but she gave me the whole new insight. No, it's bigger than that. It's more than just like having artists play their music. So let's talk a little bit about the Music Week and what's happening when it comes to this. It's not really concerts, but what are we doing for these artists then instead?
Music Week has been around since the inception of Nich. It's always been a partnership with the Music Industry Association of Belize. And it's gone through several different, the way it would look and what would be a part of Music Week. In the past year, we have rebranded Music Week, and we can recall that before that, we were having big concerts, and that was what you came to expect from Music Week. But we wanted to take Music Week back to its original purpose, which is industry development, training for artists, both wherever you are in your music career, both the newcomer, the novice musician, and those that are more established.
So this is really a time when they can come and just develop, learn from
Well, it's
other
also
artists.
a time to learn from each other, but also to dialogue. Dialogue with Nich, dialogue with Miab, dialogue with each other. We really need, I think, as a creative industry, to learn to be more collaborative and more supportive. And people will always complain and say, "Oh, nobody listened to the artist." But this is one of the instances where you can, participate in an online conference, online meeting, and you can tell us what's going on with you. What topics would you like to see addressed? And let's continue to move the music industry forward. I mean, we see a lot happening. We see artists empowered in the past few months. That's great. We see them getting, as nightlife is coming back and concert life is coming back, we see them getting booked and everything. That's great. But we, at the Institute of Creative Arts, we want to go and say, okay, remember our objective here is to help you with development, is to help you with professionalization. And there are some key components that we want to address this year. We are looking, as we're in a post-COVID, as we're moving towards post-COVID, other revenue streams. How can musicians, especially those with an established fan base, make money from their music aside from just performing in live venues? We know that if you get your music played on YouTube or if you get your music played on the air, that doesn't necessarily translate to money in your pocket.
Yeah,
right?
It's just exposure more.
It's just exposure. So we need to be looking at merchandising. Merch is huge right now in the global music industry. And many of our artists here are at that point in their career where they have an established fan base, right? Whereby if you put out one T-shirt with one lyric on it or your silhouette on it, your fans will buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
They will gobble it up,
Yeah.
So it's
right?
just to tap into that
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
different
like
revenue.
how do you translate that, right? How do
Right.
you translate that into currency
Right.
and into the upbringing
Because
in your...
the one thing if you just be booked, but gigs, they're not like every single day they get gigs.
Yeah.
No.
So you have to find different avenues where even when you just sit down, you still they make money.
Right. And you always have to be planning for the future as well,
Exactly.
Yeah.
right? So you want to be always looking ahead. I mean, and you have to think big. Tell yourself, one day I will be the big artist. I want to get on board right now and start thinking ahead about what will be my next way of earning revenue.
Now, I want to bring you in on this conversation. I know you've said that this has been something has been happening from the inception of Nich, really.
Yes.
And so I know you've been involved. So can you tell us a little bit about that journey of being involved to now being a coordinator? Like, you've gone from just to attend these things and then be a part, but now you the lead. So can you tell us about, what has been your experience attending, and what do you think you gained?
All right. First of all, I want to say thanks to Miss Kim for acknowledging what I like to think one of my strong suits in my career, and which is writing. That's why I think she called on me for the songwriting workshop to facilitate, no? And we were mentioning earlier that that it's best that we look right here in Belize for somebody to do such a workshop that can relate to the plights and the struggles that we've been facing in our music industry. So as an attendee to these music week stuff, it was very enriching. Like, we learned a lot of stuff, we learned a lot of things, and now being a facilitator for it, it comes to me like natural because it's something that I do. Like, I'm a writer. I think writing is one of the things I do best in my music. So to share that with fellow Belizean artists, that's something we want them to come and see what you've been doing. We want to add to what they know. Kim and I were talking earlier and say that, yeah, we all know you know how to write, or you're your own songwriter, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn something or add to what you know,
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to do with this workshop. Like,
So they're going to be building on the knowledge they already
yeah, they're
know.
going to be building on the knowledge that they have, and it's more of an interactive space whereby I could find out, like, what's your writing style. A lot of people write from different perspectives. Like, my writing is like a reflection of my beliefs and what I hold close to me, while some may write about matters of the heart, or some might be
Just
like,
how do you bring it out?
yeah.
And some of them really honestly struggle, especially new artists, with finding their authentic voice. This is something
Oh, yeah.
they struggle with.
There's so much influence from
Right.
outside, man.
One of these same music week, some years ago, one of the panelists spoke about the steps and transitions for artists, and she mentioned that a lot of our artists are still stuck in the imitation phase.
Yes.
So there's no moving on from that, because it's a natural stage. It's a necessary stage, because all of us musicians, we grew up emulating the craft of somebody that stood out for us.
Yeah.
Maybe we like this artist and we started to make music or content as similar to that artist, But then a lot of us stay stuck in that stage instead of growing and building your own format
You
or
have to
your
find
own
your voice,
identity.
man. Yeah,
exactly right. So, as she said, a lot of them have a struggle finding their self in music.
Just to make mention for people, because you mentioned like upcoming artists. Say sometimes an artist is really just like, they don't write their music. Can they come like they know nothing whatsoever and be able to just get
Yes,
that?
for sure.
as well?
We wanna we're gonna talk to them. This is like songwriting 101,
Okay.
We're gonna speak about basic things about music, the structure of a song, the intro, the chorus, the verse, the bridge, the outro. Those are things that are popular and just common to most songs. There's a format. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. And as I said, we come up in Belize not knowing everything or what we're doing, but we end up still doing it and unconsciously just do it. Like, so a lot of artists have under their buckle things that we are going to discuss. Like, maybe you are already doing this technique in your writing, but don't know the term to it, and there's an actual term to it, right? Maybe you're using metaphors, you're using similes, you're using all the different literary terms in your music, but you're not aware of what you're doing. So it's just kind of like pinpointing that, hey, you're doing this already in your music, so you're there already.
Awesome. And this is going to be a 2-day workshop.
It's going to be a 2-day workshop. I think it's the 27th.
And the 29th.
27th
And on the
and the
29th, they take a day's break. There's another webinar in between. And then they come back on the second day. And they get feedback. They get, we'll set up the instruments and everything, the microphones, and, you get to share. And this is what we really want at ICA, that artists, like I said, learn to collaborate and stop being so closed off. You know, Belize, we talk about having the crab in the barrel. Sometimes we put ourselves isolated in this barrel. We don't want nobody else know what we work on.
Collaboration
a lot
is
of
important.
time, collaboration is important.
It's
it
so
builds
important.
experience,
Yes.
it builds all sorts of things. But a lot of time, people are just inward. Like, I could speak for myself. It's not that I don't want to work with others. Sometimes it's easier to try this course alone, because maybe you alone have the vision, or it's you're maybe shy to work with somebody else. You don't want to mess up around somebody, or you don't feel like you're good enough, so forth. But this workshop, we kind of want
Bring
let
it
people
together.
know, that this is a safe space that you can come here and you can open up. You can share with us how your process work. Maybe somebody next to you is like, hey, I do that, or I learned something from you, So we're going to teach each other in this workshop.
I love it. So far we're finding out the first to 27th, because this is the 27th of June, guys, not July. Just in case anybody don't want to come with dash out 27 and be like, 27 of what?
27th of June.
27th of
Take a
June.
break and only come
Yes.
back the 29th.
So we're having a story writing at
Yes, the thing
That's
with
already-
this is that we're gonna give I already have it planned, that we're gonna give a couple things for them to do and then come back the 29th
Right.
and then we share.
Yes.
We disseminate all
Right,
of
so
it.
gonna leave it homework, go and reflect, and then come
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
present
We
what
wanna see what they wrote.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
I always think whenever we talk about music or any kind of like artistic means, it sets like something in history, right? And you're able to maybe tell a story of what's happening now, but also you can go back and you can reflect on.
Yeah.
I wrote something back then, so you're able to connect with people
Yeah.
through that manner.
And it's,
So-
it's great that you said story, because every song tells a story.
Yeah.
Even if you're writing folk music, like you're just speaking about like a folklore, or if you're again writing a love song, but every song has a story.
story, indeed.
And that's what artists really do. They tell stories. They tell their stories, other stories. They really just help you paint a picture that people can relate and connect to, or just learn about in the first place. Because a lot of times people don't even know the struggles that other people they go through. I know there are many artists that talk about the
Yes.
struggles that you would
Yes.
never know on a daily basis. And so let's talk about the registration, like how people can be able to find you guys, know where the workshop is. I know, with all artists all across the country, is it going to be virtual? Let's talk about some details.
It's not a virtual workshop. We do have another workshop that I'm going to tell you about in a little while, but this one is in person, right? Again, because of the nature of how we want to do this workshop. It's in the evening time, so it's free of cost.
Perfect.
Yes,
So we love
it's
free things.
Yeah, it's free of cost. We had a small fee there because, it's in the evening and we wanted to include supper and snacks. It's a cafe series. It's happening at the Bliss Cafe. Very relaxed atmosphere, and they're behind no desk. Nobody want to breathe down your right. No, it's not that kind of workshop, right?
Yeah.
It's for artists to come together with Nello and, like he said, to collaborate and to get new ideas. It's a creative writing session. But we listened to feedback and they said, Miss, take off that feeder because artists just they come back, they just they get back on their foot. So we have removed the registration fee. And so we're encouraging even if you're from the districts to come in and then you can always go back. It ends very early. It ends at 6:00. And so, you can take away, like I said, wherever you are in your music career, you can take away something from the workshop as well, right? We have a second workshop as well. That's a webinar.
Okay.
That's in partnership with Bell Trade. And because we want to talk about this whole idea of digitalization and merchandising, right? And getting their digital presence, right?
Okay.
A lot of them don't have, a lot of musicians still don't have their music registered. They need to be made. You could play it all day long and you will not make any money, right? You will
Okay.
not make any revenue. But if you go through the process to get your music registered, we are promoting this year a Spotify, a Play Belize Spotify playlist.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And every year during Music Week, we try to have that campaign where we are encouraging Belizeans to play Belize music all day long. That day is Tuesday, the 27th.
Okay.
That is when we want to have Play Belize Music Day. We are asking all our partners in broadcasting to play Belize music all day long and play it directly from the Spotify playlist if possible. Again, because when you play, they get paid, right?
Right.
I like
Now,
that. When you
if
play,
you
they
don't-
get paid.
Yes. So if artists, however, have not gone through that process of learning, of getting their music registered, there is a whole, I don't want to get into the technicalities right now, but MIAB is there to take them through that, right? To take them through that process. The playlist will not come down. It's a curated playlist and it will be updated as we go along. We will market it. So you will see it boosted, you will see it promoted online with a link to click play, right? And again, it's nice when your friends share your music on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever, but you're not necessarily making any revenue from that, right?
Yeah.
And again, so we want to also look at digitalization. Bell Trade will cover that. And they will also cover under that, they need to have an electronic press kit, which is something that is very beneficial. And again, you need to have your web presence. Your photos, photos of your past performances, how to contact you. So we want to. That's another phase later on in the year.
A lot of actualization happening.
Yes, that's later on in the year. You will see Nich doing some of these activities to help artists get their digital presence established. But we also talk about merchandising. A big part of Music Week is something that we're calling music and merch.
Yeah.
And we're going to be having 2 pop-ups. And we don't used to say art. We see small businesses doing pop-ups all over the place. It's the trend right now.
I've never seen an artist pop. Well, actually, no.
You never know.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw an
That's a
artist
good
pop up.
idea,
This
though.
Saturday right here, I saw an artist pop up when they had the Pantempters.
Right,
They were
right.
popping. I was like, oh, so it's actually a
Yes.
thing that's growing now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you
Artists,
just go and play. And
musicians can totally pop up. And again, when you go to that pop-up, their digital presence, the scan code is clearly, it's there. You listen to the music and then you say, but then they play for free. So how do I make money from this? Well, we are asking you to take note of their digital presence and listen to their music on Spotify. And we're also asking you to take a look at their merch. Some of them have very popular lyrics. Some of them even is so good looking, like Nello, that their face alone can sell
There you go, Nello.
T-shirts
That's
or
your money
mugs
maker,
or
right?
See your money
bandanas.
maker, your
Money
face right
maker,
there.
yeah.
Yes, and again, we're trying to keep it culture-based for some of them. For example, Isieni drummers, we had a discussion about maybe a line of shakas with and again, that's a band right now. They were formerly called La Rubea, and now they're going through a rebranding.
Yeah.
So they're at the right time to go through this whole merchandising and digitalization workshop. Yes, right.
I love it because they're exploring more to what they would think music would be about, right?
Yeah.
It's more than singing and putting your work out there, but it's seeing, how can we engrave our work, and I love it.
How can you make money from your brand?
It's like
It's
the
your
old
brand,
format. It
yeah.
was the old format, and fitting that you said that because it's more than what we know now.
Yeah,
Because
it's beautiful.
what we did back then is totally changed now. There are different
Yeah.
ways to make money, as Kim said, from music, and just by putting your music online, just by having your merchandise. And
I want to sit down on a music make money for no man. Like,
Yes.
I want to know if you not have to they sing every minute if you make sure only could
Or when
make
you're
money
not
and be
singing, that you're still making music, you're still
Exactly.
making money.
Yeah.
Because we
Right.
have incredible artists
do.
here. We have
We do.
incredible musicians, and
do.
so it's time now that we expose them more than just having them sing or give them a gig or so, but really give them that light that, like Kevin said, engrave them into society a lot more with merchandise, with the pop-ups. And so the Spotify is gonna be
The Spotify is being promoted, right? And again, the hashtag Play Belize Music, that's what
Play
you need to be
Belize
looking
Music.
for.
Okay.
Play
Yeah.
Belize Music,
Sounds
right?
like a souvenir,
Yeah.
oh, let me introduce you to Belize, and you just
or a
share link,
hashtag
right?
on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Play
right?
Belize
Yes,
music.
actually,
Yes.
we were thinking that we need to follow our own what we're preaching, and put out our own Music Week merch. The Play Belize Music, we want that to catch on, and it's Play Belize Music all day long in a
All right.
Creole, right?
okay.
But the merchandising aspect of Music Week this year, like I said, we're really appealing to those artists. We have 10 artists that have signed, and bands that have signed up to be a part of this program. It's a program. They will take that webinar that Beltrade is giving, so they will go through the training component. We are partnered initially with Creative Marketing. They're going to pick their designs. They're going to decide whether it's going to be T-shirt or bandanas or mugs. They're going to start off small. Miab is providing the web domain again, so that you can go and order online, and each artist will have their landing page where you can see the merch that they're selling. It's all electronic. Again, it's digitalization, so that when you click order and you want to order one of Nello's T-shirts, or you want to order a shaka from Isieni drummers, or a keychain or whatever, Creative Marketing gets that notification, and you can pick up your merch, afterwards and pay
love
for it.
this.
So no reason I shouldn't
It's
be able to see
exciting.
Anello play a shirt
Definitely.
on Sun Up on the post.
So what I was gonna ask is, where can artists be able to contact you guys in case they want to come, or just want to get more information, want to find out exactly when it comes to the webinar? Can you give us some details
Yes, you can reach out to us at the Bliss Center. You can call us at 227-2110. You can go to the Institute of Creative Arts Belize Facebook page. where we are constantly putting
Ika.
out Ika, right? You can contact Ika. You can look for us on Instagram as well. Send us a message. We are in full Music Week mode. If you want to come on board and learn about any of the webinars, about Nella's workshop, about the pop-ups, again, we encourage you. We'll see one at Battlefield Park on the 2nd, July 2nd, and on the 1st, there is one at the brewery. So we're trying,
Ooh, done started.
this pop-up thing in two different settings. We have one for the Saturday shoppers at Battlefield Park.
very strategic.
And yes, they will not only be standing there
can't miss
selling
it.
merch, they will also be performing. So it's music and merch. There's another one Friday the 1st at the brewery, a smaller pop-up. Again, the merch will be on display there. There'll be some performances as well. And we encourage everybody to come, look at the merch, and support the musicians. And again, play Belize music, right?
Yeah.
Play
Go to-
Belize music all day long.
all
day
day
long.
long. You're going to start to see the link. You're going to start to see we're launching that playlist on the first day of Music Week, which is next Monday. We're going to go live with that, and we're going to ask you to please go to Spotify. It's on some of us have that app on our phones already. If you don't already know about Spotify, go download it and get ready to
the
play.
time.
Right, we want you to play that Belize music playlist over and over and over again.
Play Belize music all day long.
day long.
I'm
All
really
day long.
hoping young artists that, just starting to develop. I know there are a lot of great artists from up north that, I would love to see them make their mark too as well. I would want them to be able to gravitate towards this, write music, learn to advertise themselves, have their web domains and get their merchandise. I think this is really a great opportunity for artists out there. If you know an artist, you're tuning in, your artist friend now, they're tuning in right now, please make sure you highlight them to what's happening. Share the information, guys. It's an incredible opportunity.
Yes.
The Music Week activities take place June 27th to July 2nd, and that's going to be pop-up shops, that's going to be creative workshops, webinars, all these different things, performances, all these different things that you can tune into. And so make sure you check out the Facebook page.
Right.
What's it called again? The abbreviation?
Institute of Creative Arts.
Institute of Creative Arts.
Right.
Ika.
Look for that hashtag, Play Belize Music. If you wanna
People
follow
that have
Belize
Spotify.
Music Week, if you wanna follow Belize Music Week on any of the platforms, then just look for that hashtag, Play Belize
Play
Music.
Belize music.
Yeah.
Play Belize music all day long, guys. You see it right there, all day long. If nothing else, all day long. In the office, in the
It's going to
classroom.
be beautiful because you'll be able to explore so much of what is Belizean identity.
I know it's really rare when you find one spot where have all the Belizean music
Yes.
like that. So
Yes,
it's
I
like
was-
perfect playlist.
Yeah, I
for
was
you.
telling Nello before we came on that I went on Spotify and there are some playlists. They're claiming to be Belize music playlists, and when I went through the songs, they're not Belizean songs. They're Jamaican, and they're all different types of music in there. And we are
But they claim to be
curating
other
a
thing.
truly Belizean.
Our producer
right.
has informed us that for Music Week, we're playing Belizean music all day long as well.
Yes.
So we're
So-
also doing our part too.
So we remember how we
Yeah.
always start out the show with a song.
Yes.
So we'll be
Yeah.
starting off the show
There
with
we
a
go.
Belizean song.
Oh, we're so
Yeah,
glad
that's
to
good.
hear that.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
So
Yes.
we'll
Yeah.
make sure everybody, and we're gonna remind everybody too as well, because it's next week, and you know how we love put our back into it. So you better put your back into
And we
it
just want
and
to
enjoy
say all
Belizean music.
genres of Belizean music, because we like
Right.
to hear that this one only interested in culture, or this one only interested in a dance hall. Belizean music, the Belizean music. It
Exactly.
doesn't matter if it's hip hop or reggae. We just want to see you develop and grow in your music career, right?
Definitely.
There's no importance. One is not more important than the other. We are talented across all genres, and we
definitely.
have the potential to make it globally. And we just want to help you along the way.
So guys, they're extending the help. By all means, reach out and extend your hand to as well. Attend the webinar, attend the sessions. Please attend the pop-up shots. This is a time where you can be able to find your voice, find collaborations, find useful knowledge that you can apply for your career. Make that money, make that music work for you. You don't
Exactly.
necessarily always have to be doing a gig to make music, guys. This is your opportunity. Take it. It's free. I mean, come on now. This is a great, great chance. So artists
Yeah.
out there, we're calling to all of you. Let's make our mark today. I want to really thank you, Nella, for being here. Miss Kim, thank you
Thank
so
you
much
both.
for
Thanks
being
for
here.
having
This is
us.
amazing.
Yes.
I'm hoping to see a lot of, I feel like the place is full up. I'm going to have to make sure and get one next room in the bliss to make sure everything happens.
Or another round of the session.
Or another round of the session.
yeah.
They have two that they get homework, So
Yeah, I want to mention too that that it's not only geared towards artists, the songwriting workshops, right? So anybody who feel inspired or feel like they are
This is true.
inspired in
Yes.
that way, you can come to this workshop, all right?
Ooh,
So
I love
encouraging everyone to
That is true
come to the
because
workshop.
there's
If you're not an
songwriters
artist,
There are
do not
songwriters
see
that
it.
are not musicians.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
They're
So
poets too as well.
Yeah, so
exactly.
that's
So
a really good
anybody
point.
who feel that inclined to do so can come to the workshop.
I love it. I love it, guys. The open call is there. The exposure is there. Make sure you make your way out. And we have to make our way out of this conversation. But we just, again, thank you so much for bringing the great news. We look forward to Play Belize music all day long next week and the
Yeah.
week just coming. And so, guys, remember, support your Belize. And 501 Excellence is there. It's here. And let's support it everywhere. And so with that, we go to our next commercial break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.